Hello again and welcome back to Illegally Cited. This is Jesse here and I am back for kind of a channel update video, but also just wanted to touch base on a lot of what's going to be going on in the next month or so, because June 2021 is going to be very busy. But yeah, this is Jesse here, and boy, yeah, a lot to kind of go through here, so we'll just dive right in. For those who are new to the channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching. Definitely subscribe. Check out all of the playlists. Everything is organized by playlist, so there's a lot of different stuff here. I unlock videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Mondays are Twitch archive streams. And then Wednesday and Saturday are everything else, and that could include anything from like playing PC or console games, low vision, iOS, excuse me, iOS apps or games, low vision spotlight games or voiceover accessible games or audio games, VR experiences or apps, hardware reviews, events coverage like E3 coming up here, which we're going to definitely talk about quite a bit here in this video. So all kinds of stuff. Just check out the playlist and you'll kind of see what kind of content is on the channel. Like an occasional Let's Play. I don't do too many of those. That's not what this channel is focused on. But occasionally we'll do a Let's Play of a full game here and there. Which does, I did want to highlight a couple of recent videos that I have done, and actually both of them are past Twitch streams. You can follow me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/illegally-cited. But for Global Accessibility Awareness Day in May, I did something different for that, and I didn't cover gaming. For my day job, I work more on the vocational rehabilitation side of blindness and low vision. So, I kind of wanted to touch on, just some, especially focus on low cost and free technology options, for people who are blind or visually impaired. Maybe you are in school or want to go to school, you want to work or are working, maybe you just want to find some new tips or technologies for independence. So what I did is I did a stream on May 20th when Global Accessibility Awareness Day was, and I just took a look at a lot of different technologies that I use and would recommend, that I use on a daily basis in most cases. And, I just showed some stuff for Windows, some stuff that's either built in or free. Showed some iOS accessibility features. Showed some accessible iOS apps that I find to be really helpful. And then I also try to answer people's questions, because I do get some regular questions from viewers on, like, oh, how do I record my screen? How do I mirror my iPhone or iPad to my computer? Just a few other questions, and then if chat came in with any other questions, I tried to answer some of those as well. So, it's a lot of good information there. I would definitely recommend checking that out. But, speaking of the few Let's Plays, I should actually kind of maybe rename this to like almost being a Let's Play. A couple of weeks ago, I did a stream for Lost in Blindness, an accessible PC adventure game. And I did a spotlight video of it a little further back. And I actually got a few comments. Thank you for the comments, by the way. I've had lots of nice ones lately again. But I had a few people going, oh, more please, or, hey, I would like to see more of this Lost in Blindness game. So, you definitely got your wish. I did stream it over on Twitch. It is now archived right here on the channel. And I did end up making it through the entire game. So, it's not a very long title. It's a couple hours long. I got stuck a couple of places, had to do a few retries in a couple of areas, which is fine. But, I did end up playing through the whole game. And, so definitely check that out. I'm kind of surprised that that video doesn't actually have more views than it does, because it seems like there is quite a bit of interest in the original Lost in Blindness Spotlight video. So definitely check that out if you did miss it. But yeah, we got some recent VR videos that I just unlocked for you guys. We did cover a couple of pre-E3 events already, because we had the Dying Light 2, and there was like a little Sonic event that I talked about. There was, we checked out the Horizon Forbidden West little video event about a week ago. So yeah, I mean, even before E3, there's been all kinds of little trickling news and videos and announcements. So yeah, and it's just gonna get crazier with E3 starting next weekend officially. So that is largely what I want to talk about today, because there's going to be so many events. So you may get quite a few different bonus videos. I haven't quite decided on the official schedule how I'm going to end up releasing these. I have a feeling that, maybe regularly scheduled content might take a back seat to covering all of these events. I'm not just going to limit these, because these are time sensitive. I don't want to, push, one stream a week. Well, if I cover even half a dozen different of these press events that are coming up in the next couple of weeks, by the time you watch some of the ones that would get unlocked, I mean, it would be, old news. So, I want to keep these things in a more timely fashion. So, a lot of the event stuff is probably going to take priority in the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow, there's actually, I got to make sure, I don't know if we're allowed to co-stream or cover it, but the Guerrilla Collective, which is this event that started a couple years ago, I think. I don't remember exactly when it started, but I know it's been at least a couple years. And they are trying to cover some, especially give more attention to smaller developers, indie games, games that might, get overlooked. Because, everyone's, the next Halo, we got the Horizon Forbidden West, we've got God of War, we've got, I'm trying to think of some other Microsoft exclusives, so like Forza. You got these big AAA titles that kind of get, overshadow the smaller stuff. So, we have that. And if I'm allowed to co-stream it, we might pop on and do a Twitch stream tomorrow for that. Sunday, I don't know if we have anything. Like I said, I have to go through, and I almost have to make a calendar with, even including reminders, because, this is a virtual E3 again, just like last year. And on top of that, Jeff Keighley has his Summer of Games, or Summer of Gaming, kind of schedule too. So that's going on kind of simultaneously. And then I guess there's a few other events throughout the summer. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. And I just have to basically make a calendar of like, okay, when is this event? When is that event? And like, can I stream it? Can I, whatever. So this Sunday, I don't know if we're going to have anything. We may or may not. Monday, though, taking a break from E3, WWDC. Yep, it is June, so Apple has its Worldwide Developers Conference. And, this is where they talk to the developers and everything, but they have their keynote, which is where they really do their first major announcements and unveiling for all of their new operating system updates. Of course, iOS, iPadOS, watchOS, macOS, all that kind of stuff. So the Mac, I have a Mac at work that I use from time to time, but I don't, I don't pay as much attention to that. I'm definitely more of a PC guy, but iOS, iPadOS, and watchOS, I'm very curious. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the iPhone operating system. Very curious to see what they're going to do with iPadOS, because I did, I think I said in another video, I did pick up the new M1 iPad, the 12.9-inch version, the big old iSlab as I call it. So I got to do a video for that yet. I got to do a hardware review for that at some point in the near future. So stay tuned for that. I mean, I will say this thing is really fast. It is just stupid fast. So like a lot of other people are saying during their reviews, it's a super powerful tablet. I mean, the amount of processing power in that thin little slab is kind of incredible. And really, your average apps are, I mean, yeah, things are going to load a lot faster and all that stuff. But like, as far as, taxing the processor and the resources of the device, your average use is not really going to, hell, I don't even think the 2018 version of the iPad, which I still have, I don't think that even really gets stressed all that much unless you're doing like some hardcore, like 4K video editing or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm really curious to see if they're gonna, do something really cool. Maybe add some professional apps or some new features for the iPad OS specifically. I know a lot of people are looking for, they would like to see multiple user support. So if you have a family iPad, people could have their own home screens and use their own Apple IDs and whatnot. That it probably wouldn't be all that necessary for me personally right now because it's just me now. But yeah, we'll see what WWDC has to offer. And I know that a couple weeks ago, Apple did already pre-announce before the conference. They did announce some accessibility features for iOS and watchOS that sound pretty cool. There are some iOS features or voiceover bugs that I really, really would love to have them address. I report them every time I participate in a beta, so I don't know why they're just not listening. The two that really bug me are the number one is the stupid focus issue. You touch something and then voiceover jumps to somewhere totally different. And if you're not paying attention and you actually double tap too quickly, then you end up activating something totally unintentional from what you originally intended. So that is enough to be really frustrating sometimes, and it's been around for a few iOS versions now, so I really hope they address that finally. The other thing on the phone, specifically, I'll be using my iPhone, and if I get a phone call when I'm using VoiceOver just gets obscenely loud for like 2 seconds. Scares the living bejesus out of me. I'm just like, oh, good God, man. So, yeah, I really would like them to fix that. So, to save on people having a heart attack. Those are the ones that really are affecting me right now personally. But yeah, I mean, I want new features, but I really want I want iOS 15 to also fix some bugs. I mean, I know a lot of, like, some people will say, well, fixing bugs doesn't sell products, new features do. Well, that might be, but if the core, you want your device to function well and not crash or, not jump around or things like that. So, yeah, we'll see what WWDC has to offer. I'm sure I'll talk about that in a future video. Maybe I'll chat about it during before one of the E3 events or something. So we have that on Monday. Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm not entirely sure. There might be one or two things. Like I said, they're announcing like specific companies. Like even today, I think they announced a Back for Blood event, and I don't even remember when that is. That's why I gotta look at this. I gotta make myself a calendar of events here. But like, there's companies that are just announcing their own little events up to the last minute here, days and times. But Thursday, I'm not sure if or what I'll be able to do live on Thursday, because that's going to be a fun but busy day. Ordinarily, I would cover the Summer of Gaming event from Jeff Keighley, but with the timing of it, I got to make sure of what time it starts, because I think it starts a little bit too early. The other event that I really want to attend, and I'm already registered for on Thursday, June 10th, is the XR Access Symposium. I joined XR Access last year. I've been talking about them off and on for the past year or so. And last summer, I did help out with one of the sessions, one of the breakout sessions last year. I'm not actually one of the presenters this year, but I am going to be attending the conference as a guest. And I really, really just... I don't have super high hopes. Like, I know there's probably going to be a lot of good information and a lot of good, like, speculation, and I don't know. Like, I hope it's not just super basic. What I really want in one of these things is I want some concrete, with VR especially, I really want some concrete evidence, shall we say? I don't know if that's really the right word either, but like, I want some official announcement from somebody that says, hey, we're actually bothering to take accessibility seriously, and here's proof. Like, we can say, yes, our company is wants to include as many people as possible, and blah, 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 blah. You know, your typical business statement crap. It's like, okay, that's great. Yeah, you say you support it. That's great. Fine, whatever. But, you know, I want to see actual, you know, even if it's not released yet, just like WWDC, they're going to show iOS 15. They're going to show all this stuff. Show a prototype. Show what you're working on. You know, I'd love to see a session somewhere, sometime, whether it's at an Oculus Connect conference or XR Access. I want to see something, anything happen with VR accessibility, because, to be honest, I really have not played my Quest or my Rift all that much lately. I know there's been a couple of games that I wouldn't mind checking out. There's a snowboarding game from the makers of the 1080 snowboarding, believe it or not. Those guys used to make 1080 snowboarding for the N64, which... that intrigues me in VR, but like I said, I'm kind of tired of supporting these platforms that really don't seem to care, or at least aren't really moving forward on accessibility. Like, I've written to Oculus several times to try, and even if they would fix their iOS, like I've done a couple of videos. You look up Oculus on my channel, and I've done like 2 videos. Once where I was showing the Oculus app, and it worked actually quite well. And then I've been trying to contact them, and I did a follow-up video probably early this year, of like, hey, yeah, the iOS app is definitely more broken now, and you can definitely see that. So even, fixing the accessibility that used to be there for that kind of a thing, but, let alone adding any accessibility to the dashboards of either headset. So, I love VR. I'm staring at some VR videos on my channel right now that I've recorded. And, when it works, it's really, really cool. But, trying to navigate the Quest dashboard to download anything, to find the apps to launch, to uninstall them, or like I said, I can't even adjust if I wanted to try hand tracking on my Quest, which it supports. I can't try it because I can't see the damn setting. I can't see where the settings are, and I can't read them. And you can use the app, but the app only supports some very basic settings. Like, you have to use it in the headset to do a lot of the adjustments. So social features, adjusting some settings, like, these are just things that I can't, base features that I can't do. And, I've been covering VR on the channel for like the last 5-6 years now. Good God, it's been that long already. And I was kind of hoping that, we would have made at least some progress forward. So I got to admit, I am a bit frustrated when it comes to VR. I mean, I'm really glad that VR or that XR Access is a thing. We've got some great people. We got some great people in there. I've made quite a few friends through XR Access. How's it going, guys and gals? But I just, I'm just really frustrated. So I'm hoping that there'll be some really cool stuff with XR Access, that event on Thursday. And then I have made this executive decision that I am taking Friday, this coming Friday, and then the following Monday and Tuesday off, because then it is all about E3. Well, actually Friday, I don't know if there's any events, but there is definitely another event that I definitely need to check out, and that is called Ratchet and Clank, because that game is out on Friday, and I have a PS5, and it will be good because there are lots of accessibility features in said Ratchet and Clank, and I want to check those out. The game looks just simply gorgeous, for one, but when they started announcing some of their accessibility features in that last presentation that they did, that State of Play, I'm like, ooh, again, accessibility, everyone says it, accessibility sells. So I am very much looking forward to trying that out on Friday. So I know what I'm doing that day. And then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm not going to mention all of them, but we're going to have several different events for E3. Sony is not having their own event. They've kind of backed out of E3 the last couple of years. They're doing one of their own events later in July, I believe. Or no, that's EA, I think. Like I said, I can't even keep them straight. But we're going to have the PC gaming show. We're going to have Microsoft and Bethesda together now because, Microsoft bought Bethesda, so they're not going to have two separate conferences. They're going to be in one spiel. There's going to be your Ubisoft conference per usual. I don't believe EA is doing one right now. I'm sure there'll be just some batshit crazy something or other from Devolver. Like, I love what they did last year with that kind of virtual, that first person wandering around the abandoned convention center. I did a video for that. That was really a neat thing. But Devolver's conferences or their videos are just, like I said, they're just complete, absolute nonsense in the weirdest way. So, looking forward to that. Of course, we're going to have the Nintendo Direct. I don't know if we're going to get any news on a supposed Switch Pro. But they did say that they're basically going to be concentrating on upcoming Switch titles for mostly 2021 on their Tuesday event. So, yeah, there's going to be, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, there's going to be a lot of different things happening. I don't know that I'm going to stream all of it. I'm going to try to keep up with as much as I can. The major ones like Microsoft, probably Microsoft and Bethesda for sure. PC gaming show, yeah. Definitely, because I'm sure they're going to do some stuff there. Ubisoft, I'm sure I'll check that out because they're a regular. They'll probably have some cool stuff. Yeah, PC gaming show. God, there's so many. Like I said, I gotta look and see what the calendar. Nintendo for sure. I will watch the Nintendo Direct live because I know they're gonna have the Skyward Sword this summer, but it's already made for the Wii U. I really, really want. I would love to have. I just went stupid. Wind Waker HD on the Switch. Just having that in portable form. I really like the bright, just cel-shaded art style. And it looks gorgeous in HD. I'd love to see that on the Switch. So, like I said, I'm going to be covering as much as I can, co-streaming as much as I can. So, again, follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/illegally-cited. What would I like to see from E3 this year? What do I think we'll see? I'm very intrigued to see what Microsoft and Bethesda are going to do. Because Microsoft has been buying up studios left and right the last few years, and so we should be getting to the point where some of their some of their acquisitions should start at least be able to talk about their games and maybe hopefully release something in the next year or two. I know things have got delayed with everybody for 2020 and COVID, but yeah, I mean, I know that Sony's got some. They're really focused on their big exclusives, but it's kind of curious to see what Microsoft is really going to showcase. Of course, Halo Infinite. I'm very curious to see what that's going to be, especially after they just said, yeah, no, we're going to kind of rework things and take about a year. We're going to take a step back and kind of redo some stuff. Very curious to see what Halo Infinite is going to be, especially the campaign, because, multiplayer I just don't really get into as much, but I enjoy the Halo campaigns. And again, I'm kind of suspecting they're going to have some accessibility features. I'm hoping they're going to have some accessibility features in there. I don't know, but it wouldn't surprise me. It would honestly surprise me and disappoint me if they didn't have some of that in there. So Halo for sure. I don't know if I don't know if they're gonna announce or if they're gonna really talk about any new Forza. That is a series where, like I said, when I was at the last GA-Conf in 2019, I talked to some guys from Turn 10, and that I know they're considering accessibility in their game. It wouldn't surprise, like I said, before The Last of Us 2 came out last year, I was honest to God thinking that if any AAA studio or if any AAA game is going to have some major, like just across the board accessibility, I was thinking it was going to be Forza. So it wouldn't surprise me if they did some great stuff with that. Elden Ring. I don't know if we're going to see that or what that's going to be about. I know everybody wants to see it. Of course, Bethesda, you've got... I doubt they're going to show anything about Elder Scrolls because they said they're working on it. But I know that's not going to be out at least for a few years yet. Because first, we got to get to, what is it, Starfield, I think it's called? I'm curious to see what Bethesda would do for a space game. All we had is basically like a little teaser trailer so far. I genuinely want to see, like, would it be something like No Man's Sky? Would it be something like Mass Effect in space? Like Mass Effect, but like a Bethesda take on it? I don't know, but I'm genuinely curious because I like Fallout. I like Elder Scrolls. I hope they fix some of the jank in some of their engine. I just hope they don't pull a Fallout 76 and make it online jank. And God, that was a disappointing thing. But yeah, I really want to see what that's going to be. I genuinely do. And I kind of hope to see, it's been a couple of years now. We had Youngblood, which really didn't do it for me. Like, I liked it kind of at first, but the way they did their pseudo open world and the two sisters thing, it just, something didn't quite work for me with that. But Wolfenstein 3, we definitely have to have a Wolfenstein 3. And I would love to see that focus this year because, if they're kind of loosely basing, some of the things from like the original games or taking content, Wolfenstein 1, was it Old Blood? There was like Old Blood, New Colossus, but then there was like the spin-off from the first game. But like, we haven't had Mecha Hitler. We have to have Mecha Hitler. It's gonna happen. It has to. Like, you can't not end this iteration of Wolfenstein and not have Mecha Hitler. You have to. And when you look at what again, the just Wolfenstein 2, the story in that game was just crazy. I really gotta I really gotta play that game again and get to the middle of that game, because I still would love to show you guys. I wish I had a save file for. There's like 3 little chapters. There's like when you go back to your home to visit where your father was. All I'm going to say is the courtroom scene, and then what happens after that. That is some of the most, again, just batshit crazy, out of left curveball. I was totally amused when I played through that the first time. I'm like, wait, what? That was really kind of cool. And then there was this whole scene with, with Hitler, and like he was actually sick, and like BJ Blazkowicz, he actually goes in and tries to, he auditions to be in this, what is it, like a play or some like TV show or something, but he's auditioning to basically be himself. And like I said, Hitler was like, he's sick, and just, you had to have seen, like, you have to have seen, watch the scene, because there's so many things in Wolfenstein 2 that the story is completely ridiculous. So I would love to see Wolfenstein 3 come out, and of course you'd have to end the trailer with like just a glimpse or a teaser of Mecha Hitler, because of course you do. Honestly, I want to be surprised. I would love to see Perfect Dark. I don't know. I think we're going to be a little ways off from that, but like a spiritual successor, like Perfect Dark it's still a really neat game. Perfect Dark Zero was not really what I wanted. I haven't played it in many years now, but like that game, the one thing that I will give it, and I know some people didn't like it, but it was sort of ahead of its time. The one cool thing that it did have for accessibility is it kind of had where your mission objectives, they had these glowy, I believe they were blue arrows, on the ground that you would follow to your next objective. So if you got lost, you could just follow these arrows and it would take you to where your next objective would be. So that is the one really cool thing that Perfect Dark Zero did. I should give that game a chance again, try to play it again, see if it clicks with me again a little bit more. Because, yeah, it should be backwards compatible from my 360 to the Xbox One. I don't know, maybe so many games to get around to playing. But I'd love to see what the new Perfect Dark is going to be. What is the studio that made Sonoa's Sacrifice or whatever? They are bought up. I wonder if we'll see anything from Psychonauts 2. That's got to be coming out soon, I would hope. Genuinely curious to see what that's going to be. So, Microsoft, Bethesda, Ubisoft, I know they're going to show more Far Cry, I'm sure. Far Cry 6. I don't know if there's going to be another Assassin's Creed. I mean, Valhalla is just ginormous. I mean, literally like hundreds of hours, and then they just did an expansion fairly recently. I don't know. I don't see them doing another Assassin's Creed, because Valhalla is doing really well. They're supporting it with extra content. I wouldn't rush another Assassin's Creed. Another Watch Dogs? I doubt it. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Will there be another Rabbids game? Mario vs. Rabbids? Who knows? Or are they going to try to tackle something else? I don't know. Ubisoft, I'm kind of not sure. I highly doubt we're going to see. I have this sneaking suspicion that Beyond Good and Evil 2 that we saw a couple of years ago in a really, really strange form, I've got a feeling that's not... because Michel Ancel left, so I don't even think he's in Ubisoft anymore or associated with them anymore. I don't know if they're still working on it. That game's just been in like development hell for years and years. I don't know. PC gaming show, I did see on Twitter, I forget what the name of the game was, but it sounds like there's going to at least be some retro shooters. that we're going to see unveiled. So I'm hoping to see maybe a few of those. Assuming anyone can get a 3080 or 30 series card in the next decade. Be nice to see what they're going to do with some of the new games and stuff. But PC gaming show, those are usually, they have usually some pretty interesting games in there. Like I said, there's so many other things. I don't remember if Activision is having one, or like I said, there's so many. The last one I'll kind of wrap up with is Nintendo, because Nintendo is really interesting. Like I touched on earlier, could there be a updated Switch? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know if they're going to unveil it around this time or not. But I do want to know what Switch games are coming out. We've got Mario Golf, which I am actually interested in. That's coming out later this month. That would be a great podcasting or audiobook game, because you don't really need to hear it. And they're fun. Like I don't like golf in real life or on TV. It's boring. But the first golf game I really played and really enjoyed was Mario Golf on the N64. And I played the GameCube version. They're fun. So I'm thinking about maybe looking at that. We know we've got Skyward Sword Remastered coming out in July? But we have the 30th was it 30th, or I don't remember how many years old it is. We got this anniversary for Zelda and Metroid. I know they're doing Skyward Sword, but I really hope, like I said, I want Wind Waker. I would love to hear about I would love to have almost like a Link to the Past, or not Link to the, Link to the Past is already on on the Super Nintendo Classics thingy, the service for a Switch Online. But I would like to see Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask maybe, or the Master Quest kind of a thing. They had the bonus video, where they had the bonus content for the GameCube version when you bought Wind Waker, you pre-ordered it. Even if they took the kind of remastered graphics that they did on the DS back in the day for Ocarina of Time, I don't know, it'd just be kind of a neat thing, but Wind Waker would be really great. I'd love to see that. Could they do another 99 event? Another surprise game like that? We've had Tetris, we've had Mario, we've had Pac-Man. Could there be like a Mario Maker? Could there be like a Zelda Maker? That could be kind of neat. Could there be something like that? I've been hearing some minor rumblings of a 2D Metroid. I would love a 2D Metroid for my Switch. Hell yeah, bring it. I would love it. I would love to see a new F-Zero game. That franchise has just been ignored for years and years. The last game we got on that was the GameCube, and I loved the look of that game, but that game was hard. The campaign mode in that game was just brutal. I only got to like the third or fourth level, and even that was a struggle. I think it was like the third level I think I maybe got to. F-Zero X, like it was really low polygon, but F-Zero X on the N64, I would love to see something like that again. There were some tracks in there that were just really cool. Like you were on the inside of a tube, outside of a tube. You had, I think that there was a track called Silence. I think it was. It was just this track where you had like all these ramps and boosts, and you were going like curves, and you were just going up and down. It was just a really fun kind of wavy track. That was I still remember that. But it was so fast, and you had like, 30 racers battling you. But I would love a little bit more forgiving than F-Zero GX. But I would love to see a new F-Zero. That would be wonderful. What I really want though is I would really love to see, we have the Nintendo and the Super Nintendo stuff for Switch Online. I would love to see a Game Boy and Game Boy Advance. Anything through Game Boy to Game Boy Advance system. Now, I know they're just going to trickle things out like they do for everything else, but you have to think they would start with some, marquee titles. I would love to play like Super Mario Land 1, 2, 3, some of the Wario Land games. I would love to play, I don't know, the Game Boy Castlevanias. Well, we can do that on the Castlevania collection. But there's a lot of good Game Boy games. A lot of, Game Boy Advance especially. I hope to God somewhere Konami announces a sequel to the Castlevania Anniversary Collection. Put the Game Boy Advance, put the DS Castlevanias in that sequel collection, and I will buy the hell out of that day one. God, that would make me extremely happy, because those were Circle of the Moon. Harmony of Dissonance wasn't as good. I didn't like that one as much, but Aria of Sorrow, Dawn of Sorrow, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I would love to see that. And there's like Portrait of Ruin. What is it? Order of Ecclesia. I mean, God, man, I would love to see that collection. Yes. But yeah, like Game Boy stuff, I would love to see that happen. I mean, hell, would they announce some sort of there's always been this talk of, maybe they're going to do a Game Boy Classic. Maybe you get a portable, a handheld Game Boy Classic with some built-in Nintendo games, and maybe with an HDMI port that you could also hook up to your TV. I would buy the crap out of that, too. That would be wonderful. So Nintendo has a lot of potential. Are we going to see Metroid Prime 4? Are we finally going to get more information about that? Breath of the Wild 2. When is that coming out? But we haven't even seen anything for Metroid Prime 4. We've got those. We've got, No More Heroes 3 is coming out in August or September, I forget. I'm curious what that's going to be like. I'm not sure about the aliens thing, because now it's not just like Earth assassins. Like I guess you're fighting like aliens and stuff. But I think it should be still, with Travis Touchdown and his craziness. I think that could be. I'm definitely going to want to check that out. So, and then there's just the little surprises that Nintendo has. It's like, we're going to get another Battle Royale game, or we're going to get some sort of quirky surprise game. And by the way, it's out right now. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get. I would love a new Punch-Out, even if they ported the Wii Punch-Out to Switch. Punch-Out definitely deserved, but I would love new boxers. Honestly, for Punch-Out, what I would love is I'd love them to do what they did for Mario Kart. You have like the new circuits, and then the classic circuits, where you could have all new boxers. You could have 12, 16 of the new boxers, and then just throw your classic cup, and then you could have, you didn't have to have repeats of everybody to flesh out all of your roster, but like your retro could have one of each. You could have like a Glass Joe, Von Kaiser, Bald Bull, Piston Hurricane or Piston Honda. I said Bald Bull, Soda Popinski, Macho Man, Sandman, all your classics. Like, you could totally do that, and then have your new circuit or sprinkle them together. But yeah, Punch-Out Wii was fantastic. The animation and the presentation they did for that game was great. So who knows? Retro's supposed to be doing some other interesting stuff. Maybe we'll hear what they're up to. Nintendo's going to be an interesting one this year, I think. So, I left out all kinds of stuff. But even just the things that I talked about here today, like, there's a lot to look forward to for E3 and other related events. But we're not done there. After E3, there's going to be a Microsoft event on, I believe it's the 24th. And I am very interested in that because they are going to announce basically their new something about like your new version of Windows. I don't know if it's like just a major update to Windows 10, if they're going to call it something totally different. And I do hope that they follow Apple's lead. I thought they would with Windows 10, and just Windows should just be free. I know that they charge for it. Like you could do the upgrade if you already had a computer that could run Windows 10 if you went from like 7 or 8 to 10. But just make Windows free, you'll pay for Office 365, you'll pay for Game Pass, you'll pay for, all those types of things, but just operating system at this point, it should just be free. But I'm very curious to see what they're gonna do with that. So I don't know if they'll mention accessibility, but I'm like, if they do some sort of crazy new start menu redesign that I've been hearing about, or there's been rumors about, any sort of, general new interfaces, if they're going to have more, like streaming integration or, whatever they're going to do. Like, I genuinely don't know what types of things they're wanting to focus on, but yeah, I'm quite interested to see what this next Windows event is going to be. And around the same time, I won't be able to talk about it because I'm under NDA, but I might get a little bit of exclusive scoops because, I'm part of this Low Vision Advisory Board that we're meeting, and I guess we just got an email about it, and so yeah. I might learn some more stuff there, but unfortunately I won't be able to tell you guys that stuff. But as far as the actual public event is going, that's open season. So let's see what Microsoft announces too. So we got Apple, Microsoft, E3. June is going to be busy. We got an iPad review that I got to do yet. All kinds of stuff. So anyway, it's been kind of a longer video, but like I said, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on. There's a lot happening. Very curious about all this stuff. There will be a lot of streams, probably a lot of event streams. I might do some specific game streams. I know there's a couple games that I've been thinking about streaming. One of them in particular, I kind of want to cover an iOS game on a stream because I talked a little bit about there's when I upgraded my new iPad, there are some games that got lost to time because the one thing I genuinely hate about the App Store is that even if you purchase something, you should be able to re-download that whether you got it for free, whether you paid for the app, or you got the free app and then paid for an in-app purchase to fully unlock it. Like, I understand that things get delisted, but if you purchased it, and as long as the app can technically run, like I understand when they went from 32 to 64-bit, some apps just broke, and if a developer didn't update them, you're out of luck. That sucks, but at least that's understandable. But just the fact of, oh, well, we delisted it, and even though you technically kind of own it, no, you don't. That is a bunch of crap. And so I lost a couple really fun games. I did a video for both of them. There was one that was called The Giant Boulder of Death, and that was just a fun little kind of arcadey crush everything game. That was fun, but that's no more. But the other game that I really wanted to play was Maximum Car. It's this arcadey racing game. The presentation is kind of stupid, especially with the audio announcer, but in kind of a dumb but fun way. But the gameplay itself, I mean, it's this bright, kind of pixelated 90s arcade racer. It's got elements of like Burnout 3 where you can run it, you smash into another car and just take him out, smash him out. You can shoot little rockets at him and take him out that way. And the touchscreen controls just work beautifully. It was easy to steer, to boost, to shoot, to do power slides. I mean, it was designed for touch and it worked great. I mean, I actually found the developer on Twitter, and I asked him, I said, hey, this game is not available on the iOS App Store. Is there any chance of this coming back? And then he said, well, the publisher, what did he say? Like, the publisher owns the rights to it, or got sold or bought out or something, and that's why it got delisted or something. And I asked him, it's like, well, would you consider doing like a spiritual successor or an update to make it back on the store? And he would love to, but publishers aren't really being receptive to helping pay for the game. I said, hey, well, if you wanted to do something on Kickstarter, I would support it, because, God, the gameplay in those are super fun. So I am going to take my 2018 iPad and I am going to do a Twitch stream for Maximum Car, because it is fun and I want to preserve the craziness and the weirdness of that game. So we're going to definitely do that. But lots of things to come, lots of videos. Like I said, a lot of your regular videos are probably going to be not as prioritized because of so many events in the next few weeks. But anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Definitely subscribe if you haven't done so already. Follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/illegally-cited. Twitter. My Twitter is at BGFH79. I will be announcing when I go live on Twitter as well there. Yeah, it's going to be busy. And I do want to do a quick shout out. I want to do a shout out to Theory of a Blind Man. I was on his show a few times last year. It was a lot of fun. Hope to do it again. He's been going through some rough medical stuff lately. But it sounds like he's kind of working it out. He's back home again. So just shout out to you, man. Hope you're doing better. Hope you get through all this crap. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to him on that, and just hope things go well and he feels better again pretty soon, because it just sounds super rough. But yeah. But I think that's where we are going to wrap it up. You may also find me on another podcast, but you have to follow me on Twitter. At least one episode of a podcast, possibly later this month, but I'll leave it at that for now. So yeah, it's going to be a busy but fun time. Follow me on Twitter at BGFH79, twitch.tv/illegally-cited, illegally-cited.com, and right here on YouTube. So until next time, I will chat with you guys again later.